In pickleball, you'll have to switch between offense and defense at any given time. The right pickleball tips could help you overcome your regular losing streaks. Offensively, you have several options, not all of which require hard hits. Let's learn them as we run down the 7 shocking offenses players commit on the pickleball court. Hello and welcome to Pro Pickleball Media, your #1 spot for all pickleball content. Our channel is dedicated to the fastest-growing sport in the United States, and we cover all fun and exciting things related to pickleball. So if you love pickleball and want to learn more about it, just take a second to subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss any of our video. Now let's get right into the video. Number 7. The around the post shot. ATP shots, which are legal in pickleball, allow you to win a rally without even going over the net. In the ATP, your opponent's return bounces well beyond the sideline and wide of the post when it comes at an angle. Once you are off the court, you can ground stroke the ball to their playing surface to return it to their court. The ATP is usually caused by a player hitting a pickleball with a sharp angle that causes the ball to travel across and off the pickleball court. To set up ATP opportunities, it is imperative for you to be aware and prepared before your opponent hits. Watch for cross-court shots coming in from steep angles from the other side of the court. Look for shots where the pickleball bounces near the sideline and goes out. An ATP shot is difficult to defend, so you should go for it if you have the chance. You'll have the perfect ATP opportunity where the ball carries far enough that you've got a clear path to fire the ball. Number 6. The Lob Doctor. As a defensive player, Callan Dawson is known as the Lob Doctor for his offensive lob skills. In the offensive lob, you hit the shot from your non-volley line when your opponents are leaning too far forward in preparation of a dink shot from your non-volley line. Offensive lobs shouldn't necessarily be used to win rallies, but rather to push opponents back to the starting line and open up the rally. It is easy for you to score a point when you execute the lob correctly. Performing an offensive lob involves angling the paddle upwards and moving out and up. In order to lift the ball upward, you should be in a balanced position and lift with your knees as you lift the paddle. When you transfer weight, your intended target is in front of you and fairly close. It will be much more difficult to control the ball if you have to stretch to get it. Using an offensive lob strategy is definitely effective when you are hitting into the wind because it's much easier to control than a shot against the wind. Not to mention, you don't have to worry about your opponent putting away overheads. It is advisable only to use offensive lobs when you are positioned at the non-volley line. Hitting offensive lobs from the baseline should only be done in very rare situations. Number 5. A combination of overhead smashes and volleys. Physicists believe that overhead smashes are the most aggressive shots because they use body speed to keep the ball traveling faster. In a typical overhead smash, a player serves deep from a high contact point with the ball after returning a lob shot. It is a great tactic to force the other team to hit the ball beneath the height of the net, because when you take the ball from the air early, you increase the amount of speed and power you generate. You can immobilize your opponent by aiming at his feet or at his dominant arm's hip and shoulder. It is best to shuffle backward before executing the right overhead smash. You want to begin shuffling your feet backward once your body has turned parallel with the sidelines and you have spotted the ball. Whenever you cross your feet, you may lose your balance and fall. Do not cross your feet at any time. You can use the overhead smash at different times, but the most common time is when you have the opportunity to position yourself under a high ball that your opponent lobs. Number 4. The Scorpion. There is a similarity between a scorpion and a Riley Newman pancake. Because your opponents are likely to hit the pickleball high or up relative to you, the Scorpion is a powerful counterattack. You can use the Scorpion to create an overhead shot that is essentially an overhead shot if the pickleball remains on the court and you assume that it is going to remain on the court. In the shot, players load up a high forehand and squat down to turn a vulnerable surface into a deadly sting. Rather than defending with a backhand, this shot becomes a mini overhead. When you raise your paddle into this position, it looks like a scorpion ready to strike. Your opponent is caught off guard when you turn a defensive backhand shot into an offensive forehand. The moment your opponent's paddle face shifts from a cross-court angle to a direct angle in front of you, it is time to act. A telltale sign that you are about to attack is the bounce of a ball that bounces too high or the popping up of a ball by you or your partner. When your opponent winds up for their next shot, you know they will attack. In order to be effective with the scorpion response, you need to rotate the paddle so you're ready to hit a forehand. Backhands are usually blocked or volleyed automatically. It is also necessary to create separation in order to generate power in a counterattack. You can do this by getting your body out of the way. Number 3. The aggressive top roll volley. Pickleball players who play aggressively know their opponent's weaknesses and exploit them. For example, they might prevent their opponent from reaching the kitchen. In contrast to a traditional unattackable shot, a top roll volley allows one to be more aggressive. It is a firm, half-swinging volley imparted with forward spinning motion on the ball, which causes it to drop and propel after the bounce. A topspin, roll volleyball is a great way to keep your opponent pinned back and take away time from them. Imagine a scenario where you and your partner are situated at the non-volley line following a return of serve, and your opponent is trying to hit a precise, unattackable drop shot to reach the non-volley zone. Your opponent could use such a shot to force you to hit up on your next shot, giving them time to move to their non-volley line to neutralize your advantage. Number 2. A footwork fumble. Pickleball depends heavily on your feet, but many people ignore them. You must establish your feet before you swing, which is the basis of your pickleball strategy in many ways. It is possible to suffer from injury if you neglect your footwork, but if you use smart footwork, your game will be better rounded. There is a tendency for players to lead solely with their upper bodies. Consequently, you may become off balance and move excessively. Making great shots depends on your footwork on the court. The game involves moving a lot on the court as you attempt to position yourself as best as possible to make the most of your shots. In these situations, footwork is easy because you set yourself up perfectly. It is important to maintain your balance while playing. It is impossible for players to fully recover from previous shots if they move too much. Number 1. The Airborne Attack. Steve Dawson, a pickleball pro, describes airborne attacks as ways to punish your opponents who can't land the ball in the kitchen. If your opponent can take a ball out of the air before it's bounced, then that ball is designated as an excellent ball to attack during a kitchen rally. Airborne attack techniques are critical. In a kitchen rally, there are only 2 basic attacks. If the ball is flying, you need to hit it hard, or hit topspin if it's below the net. Airborne attacks come in different forms. The first type of attack Dawson prefers is ascending and putting as much spin on the ball as you can to make it dip and make it very difficult to return. While the second is as soon as your opponent fails to hit the shot well and the ball sits high over the net, you can smash it and finish the rally without having to step into the kitchen. As a general rule, Dawson advises attacking the player closest to you when you play an airborne shot. With the opponent in front of you, they have less time to react to the power and speed of the airborne attack. So which of these shocking offense is your favorite? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and share it with your fellow picklers. Also, if you love pickleball, then make sure to watch this next video on our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.